I've got the spores, the sickness. There's the twins in my brain.
The mighty fight for the yellow jersey. Mountain goats hunting the polka dots. Fast legs heating up for that final sprint. Are you ready for the 111th edition of the Tour de France? In this new Domestique Cycling podcast episode, we will analyze all 22 teams and 176 riders who will be lining up in Florence for the start of La Grande Boucle. Welcome. And welcome to my Domestiques as well. Yves, Ethan and Bram, the four of us. Guys, how different is the run-in into the Tour de France compared to the days before Giro or Vuelta a España?
I think it's completely different. The teams, like a lot of the selections are known quite a bit more in advance, and there's just a lot more hype. Yeah, it's just I prefer the Tour.
Yves, are you as thrilled for Giro as you are right now?
No, I think the Tour is something extraordinary. It's all teams line up with their best riders if they aren't injured, of course. But it's something special, and the battle you'll see between the big guns, the GC favorites, is gonna be epic. I'm looking forward to it.
Right, guys, we'll get straight to the point today. Who do you think will win this year's Tour de France?
I think isn't it? Apparently, I think Pogacar is going to win by probably around 4 minutes, I'd say. That's my
That's
prediction.
a name and a time gap right away. Yves,
Yeah.
Bram, do you guys agree with Tadej Pogacar?
Yeah. Bram, you can't agree when we see the cap.
Yeah, it's sort of spelled on my forehead, isn't it? I don't know. I'm gonna say Remco. I'm sticking to my bit. It's gonna be very difficult. But I think he can do it. Gotta believe.
Yves, Ethan, you guys say Pogacar. Does that mean Vingegaard ends up being second, or will we see a
Yeah.
surprise?
I think
Yeah.
this first week, I think Pogacar is going to try and blow Vingegaard out of the water, and then so he can't really come back at the end. That's I believe. What about you?
I don't know. Last year, Pogacar went all in right from the gun, from the opening weekend, and he lacked some energy at the end of the Tour de France.
Mm.
If I would be Pogacar, I would wait till the really tough stage. What is it? Finish on Isola 2000, if I recall correctly, the monster stage, and then I would play with the team. An Ayuso, a Yates, take yellow, let them take yellow in the opening weekend. Then Visma has to go on the offensive, and Pogacar can just follow wheels and save energy.
So, in your opinion, Yves, Pogacar should wait for the final week, for the final bang. But we all know Vingegaard will grow into this Tour de France due to his injuries. Wouldn't it be smarter for Pogacar to hit him right away?
That's what I think personally, because it's like you got to get them while they're vulnerable, I guess, isn't it? I think, but
I have my doubts about the base condition of Vingegaard. He was in the hospital for 10 days, so that base is gone, or not completely gone, but it's gone quite a bit. So everybody says he's gonna grow into the Tour, but it's a weird build-up of the Tour. It's a hard opening and a hard final. So I don't know. I think he will lack some energy, some of that base condition that you need to be 100% in the final week. Of course, Pogacar lost the Tour last year with 7 minutes, if I recall correctly. So Vingegaard at 100%, is very strong, maybe even unbeatable, question mark. So maybe Vingegaard at 95 can do it as well. But Pogacar is stronger than last year. So, I don't
Do you think, Yves, Pogacar, will he feel how warm the water is on the first day, how good Vingegaard is? Will he test him?
I think we all know Pogacar that he's gonna do it. He's gonna test Vingegaard, but the opening stage doesn't really suit him, in my opinion. And I think that's already a special thing. I don't think it's hard enough for the Pogacar to create some sort of difference, because the top of the last climb is still 27 k's away from the finish with a descent. So it's not like you can create major gaps in GC.
No, but still, Pogacar can attack on the uphill and see how quick the reaction of Vingegaard is.
I will let Ayuso or Yates do the trick.
Here we are, the team place. Let's have a look at the team of UAE Team Emirates. They're lining up with Tadej Pogacar, Juan Ayuso, João Almeida, Adam Yates, Pavel Sivakov, Marc Soler, Tim Wellens, and Nils Pollitt. That's maybe the strongest team I've ever seen at the Tour de France. Yves, how would you play with these guys?
Well, I would use the team card like Jumbo Visma 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
With the Roglic.
The Roglic Vingegaard duo. I would do the same. I would use the team to be in the offensive at the advantage at the latter part of the stages, in the tough stages, and then just attack Vingegaard, because we will see it later on in this preview podcast. The team around Visma, around Vingegaard, isn't that strong, especially with Kus not being there. So it's up to UAE to create a positive situation for them.
Bram, do you agree with that?
Yeah, they're going to have to carry this race. This is the strongest Grand Tour team I've ever seen. To be fair, if they don't walk away with winning the overall, then that's really strange. With this team, you're meant to win any Grand Tour. But, crazier things happen. But yeah, they're going to have to carry this race. And in my opinion, they will just make it hard from stage one, but will use all of their very strong domestiques even on stage one. And maybe there's a Pogacar attack, but if you want to test Vingegaard, then honestly, you can do that with Ayuso, Almeida, or Yates as well.
Ethan, is there a scenario possible in which a teammate of Tadej Pogacar ends up fighting for the Tour de France win?
I think so, definitely, yeah. We've seen, obviously, we're going to talk about Dieter again. Ayuso, does he have the form coming into this tour? Almeida definitely has the form, and so does Yates as well. But the time trial plays a part. So Almeida, for me, if he is in his shape, Almeida has a real chance.
All right.
It'd sort of be like the Kuss situation from last year at the Vuelta, where is Pogacar going to take that leadership and say, no, you can't win the Tour? I need to win the Tour. I think that will sort of ruin his adorableness or his likeness, likability.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, Tadej Pogacar is like a god in the team. The team management has said it multiple times. They really want to win the Tour again with Pogacar. So I think the other guys will know their role, and I don't think we're in for a major surprise like we did at Vuelta last year.
It just depends, doesn't it, really, though? It's well, Pogacar is feeling it, or something happens.
Of course.
It's up to UAE to use their team strength, because like Pogacar, Vingegaard head-to-head, when they're both 100%, it's advantage Jonas a little bit. So yeah, he has to use the team. And if they go all in on Pogacar and just go make a mountain train and make that whole domestique straight away, I think that would be a stupid move. You have to keep 1 or 2 cards in your hands to play with it. Otherwise, it's Pogacar, Vingegaard again, and you can't play with an Almeida card, for example, if he's too far in GC.
Let's have a look at the team of Visma Lease bike. They're bringing Jonas Vingegaard, Ties Benoot, Matteo Jurgensen, Christophe Laporte, Jan Tratnik, Wout van Aert, Wilco Kelderman, and Bart Lemmen. So Yves, you already mentioned it, no Sepp Kuss. How big of a disadvantage is that?
Well, they have a real soldier in their squad, so I don't think it's a real disadvantage. No, not having Kuss in the team is, yeah, it's the Super Domestique, the Luxury Domestique, who won a Grand Tour last year. He's among the best climbers in the whole pro peloton. It's a bit of a weird move that they allowed him to go on altitude camp when he wasn't fully recovered yet from the COVID infection. They didn't take Len to that altitude camp, so why don't you take a backup there to be sure? Now Lemon has to, drop in to a tour squad that the tour starts in 4 days. So and then you have Wout van Aert who will be ready, but he has to grow into the tour, in my opinion. We went to the nationals, Belgian national championships earlier this week or on Sunday, and we both said that he has to gain a little bit more fitness to be able to domestique and help Vingegaard as good as possible. It will happen. Van Aert is someone who grows into the race more than a Vingegaard, in my opinion, I think, because he has that cross background that he's able to peak a little bit easier than a Vingegaard. So it's a very strong team. Don't understand me wrong. I think a lot of teams are jealous about that lineup, but when we know what's on the bench, then it can be better.
A couple of things here. Bram, first question for you. Are you afraid Bart Lammel will be the weak link within the team?
I would kind of expect him to be. He's not done the same prep as the rest of the team. He's not done the altitude camps. Maybe he's done other altitude camps. I haven't really looked into his training. But it would be very surprising if he were to be able to actually replace a Sepp Kuss. I don't think that's possible. I think sort of Jorgensen moves up as potentially Vingegaard's last man. I think it's a bit of a shame that we don't get to sort of compare Jorgensen and Kuss and see their dynamic of what they can do. But no, I don't expect Lemon to be a very strong part of the team. I think, just getting added to the team that late, it's not going to be very good.
Am I right when saying the role of Matteo Jorgensen will be crucial now?
100%. I think in terms of the mountain train for Vingegaard, well, Jorgensen is basically everything with Kelderman as well. But well, I think Jorgensen is rated quite a bit higher than Kelderman.
Is Jorgensen backup for Vingegaard or replacement now that Kuss doesn't start?
I think he still has to be backup. You can't the chances of Vingegaard cracking even after the first week, they're real. So not allowing Jorgensen to lose minutes would be smart, and just to keep him in contention for a top 5 or something, so that they do have a goal later on in the tour if Vingegaard cracks.
The question is, can you be backup for Vingegaard and be his super domestique at the same time? I don't think so.
No.
So that's why I think Jonas Vingegaard is the real leader of the team without any backup.
I mean, we've seen it before, right? Like last year with Adam Yates and Tadej Pogacar. Adam Yates was the last man and super domestique, but also ended up third in Paris. So I wouldn't see why that wouldn't be possible again.
Ethan, next question for you about Wout van Aert. How do you see his role?
Like a Swiss Army knife, I think. That's what I think the best similarity is. He's going to be doing everything, just getting stuck in, isn't he? And I think even on stage 1, that is a parkour for him, I think, as well. I think he could get stuck in. I'm seeing a lot of people actually do pick him as the
It's
winner.
way too hard, I think, with his current situation.
Yeah, but in the Belgian champs, I think the only reason he was so exhausted in the sprint is because he was having to chase down everything as well and things like that.
Yeah, but the opening stage of Tour de France is like 3 times harder than the Belgian nationals.
Yeah, but I think people are overrating how hard this stage actually is, in my opinion. So
Do you think he will participate in the bunch sprints?
Yeah, he has to, I think.
If you don't agree?
No, why would he? He's not aiming for green. It's not a target. It's yeah. He's not taking any risk. He's happy. He's at the tour. He wants to go all in for Vingegaard, and he has his own personal goal, Paris. So I think he will, conserve as much energy as possible. He doesn't have to domestique for Vingegaard. So getting into the mix in sprints, I don't think it will happen. If it happens, maybe in the final week, the last chance or the penultimate chance for sprinters. But before that, I don't think he will get involved.
All right, guys, let's move on to Bram's hat. Soudal Quick-Step, Remco Evenepoel, his first Tour de France participation. He gets the support of Mikel Landa, Ilan van Wilder, Louis Vervaeke, Jan Hirt, Casper Pedersen, Yves Lampaert, and Gianni Moscon. Bram, up to you. What will the Tour de France of Remco Evenepoel look like?
I mean, it can either be really good and that he finishes podium, or it can be that he finishes top 30 and goes stage hunting. He's a bit all or nothing. It's also what I really like about him. But looking at this team, it's a strong team for a Grand Tour. Like they've really built him a good Grand Tour team. I think the addition of Casper Pedersen and Yves Lampaert is a little bit, like for
You
flat
need guys
stages.
for the flat stages as well. So
Okay, but then you can also bring Merlier. He can also domestique. But yeah, like for that, I would then also expect Merlier to be there, maybe Moscon not to be there. Yeah, that part of the team, I'm a little bit uncertain of. But yeah, I really like this team.
Yves, GC or ending up stage hunting?
Polka dot jersey.
Yeah, I said that as well.
So you don't believe in GC Remco?
No, first of all, free Landa. Landa is going for the top 5. But yeah,
He gets his
I
chances
think,
at the Vuelta though. So
I think Evenepoel will crack pretty early on in this year's tour, and then it's stage hunting, and that's how I like Evenepoel the most actually, when he just can go rogue in every stage, attack, and it's fun to see. I hope he gets a good general classification as well in Nice. Don't understand me wrong, but still an Evenepoel that doesn't have to, doesn't care about things and just go ham every stage, every mountain stage. It's gonna be lovely to see. So yeah, polka dot jersey for me.
So you expect him to be dropped on Galibier stage already?
That's maybe a bit too early, but yeah, certainly the gravel stage. I expect him to
The gravel
do time in
stage?
the gravel stage. Yeah.
that doesn't make any
I
sense.
much more expect him to crack on the Galibier stage than in the gravel stage.
No.
Like that's one he really reconned a lot already.
It's not because you're recon that you're able to, that you master the course, but
Or maybe he's planning something special.
To be honest, I don't think if Evenepoel gets dropped early on in this Tour de France, he will switch to stage hunting right away. I think he's there also for the experience of Tour de France, which is still something else than riding for GC at Giro or Vuelta. So even if he gets dropped, I would advise him to stick to the plan actually. Even
think
though
I've seen-
if it's for stage for place 8 or 9 in GC, just 21 days, go full gas for GC.
I think I've seen that even if he got dropped like in the Vuelta, that he's not actually gonna like drop all the way back now. I think I've seen something on X about that from Patrick saying that in the further.
All right.
I think also with that team that they're bringing, like him losing half an hour, they're not going to allow that again. That team is there to support him, so they're going to do everything to get him a good result in the GC.
It's a real strong team.
Exactly. How big is the advantage of Evenepoel in the time trials, guys? We got 2 of them this Tour de France.
Looking at the Giro, what Pogacar did there, like his TT is honestly insane as well. I do still think that Remco has an advantage. But what Vingegaard did last year in the TT, also extraordinary. I don't know what Remco would have done against that. I don't think he would have beat him.
Nope.
So I still think he has an advantage. But if Vingegaard has a day like last year, I don't think he's going to be able to put minutes into anyone, or like even 1 minute. It's going to be close.
In this year's Tour de France, we got 2 hilly time trials. The last one is pretty hard. Would it have been better if it was flat time trialing?
Remco, yeah, definitely. If he can play out his aerodynamics, then yeah.
But it wouldn't make that much of a difference either if you saw how Pogacar did the time trial against Ghana in the Giro. That was a pan-flat time trial, and he was able to stick with Ghana. Yeah, he was very close at the finish. So
But Remco can beat Ghana.
Yeah, but it's not like he's gonna beat him with 30 seconds. So it's not like you have a major advantage on a flat time trial against a Vingegaard and a Pogacar. All those guys can time trial so good. They are lightweight. They are a bit above 60 kilos, and yeah, the power they are pushing on a flat time trial is insane. And the development from Colnago as well with the time trial bike, the step they made with 3 years ago, it's insane to see.
Let's move on to team number 4. It's the team of the 4th favorite. Should we say that? I don't know. It's Bora-hansgrohe, the only team who didn't officially release their lineup yet, but rumors are the team will look like this: Jai Hindley, Alexander Vlasov, Danny van Poppel, Nico Dens, Matteo Sobrero, Primoz Roglic, Bob Jungels, and Marco Haller. Primoz Roglic, guys, is he at the same level of the 3 riders we mentioned before?
Nope.
Yes, if he doesn't crash. I'd say he has a better chance than Remco. That's what I believe anyway.
In my opinion, we've got 2 big favorites, being Pogacar, Vingegaard, and then I put Roglic on the same level as Evenepoel. I've got my doubts as well, especially because of the final weekend of Dauphiné, in which, he lost time. Yves, you said it's important in Dauphiné to grow into the race, not to fade away. Yeah, we saw him kind of fade away. It wasn't super bad, but
yeah, he was still able to retain the overall win. But still, it wasn't good to see because it's on Jorgensen and Carlos Rodriguez, if I recall correctly, and it was not on a Pogacar or a Vingegaard. So, like you mentioned earlier, those guys are one step above. So if you already lose time on guys like this, to say disrespectful, then you're gonna lose a chunk of time on the 2 big guns. But Roglic will grow. He went on altitude again right after Dauphiné as well. So he will be ready. But I think Roglic is a guy who just have to follow wheels and try to stay in touch with the 2 big favorites, and then use his explosivity in the final 500 meters to get bonification seconds, to get a 3-4 second gap. But we will not see a Roglic attack Pogacar and Vingegaard before the final K, I think.
Ethan, do you think Roglic can have an advantage because of the fact that Vingegaard and Pogacar will be looking at each other?
I think so, yeah, and especially with obviously the rumored lineup there, the people he's got coming with him, Hindley and Vlasov as well. Vlasov was all in from in Dauphiné, and I think if those 3 work together as a good trio, people are underrating Roglic, I think, definitely.
But I do think that if Roglic attacks, Pogacar is going to follow and going to counter him. So, like him playing out sort of a third dog move where he's just going to, like, they're not going to pay attention to him. I don't believe that. Pogacar is always going to respond to Roglic.
Would you say as well, though, that the Bora team is on paper maybe the second best team there with the
Yes.
people who's lining up. Yeah, I
I
think
agree with that.
with Kuss out as well. So yeah.
With all that money,
Yeah.
Red Bull coming in.
Primoz Roglic moved to Bora-hansgrohe because of this race. He wanted to have sole leadership at Tour de France to make his dream happen. Do you think this is his last chance to win the Tour de France?
Yes.
Mhm.
And why?
He's 34 right now. There are guys within the Bora team who will not stay happy with a domestique role. They extended the contracts of Vlasov and Hindley, if I recall correctly. They have Lipowitz sitting there as well, waiting, growing. They will be active on the transfer market again at the end of the season. There are already new rumors about, for example, another race. It's not a GC man, but still. So it will be the last tour that Roglic is the absolute leader in the team. He can start next year as co-leader next to someone else, but now he's alone at the top. He's the leader. Everybody is working for him, and that's going to be the last year, I think, if he's not winning. If he wins this year's tour, then of course next year he's going to be leader again.
Bram, at the UAE Team Emirates, we have Adam Yates, we have Ayuso, we have Almeida besides Tadej Pogacar. Visma Lease bike has Jurgensen for Vingegaard. Here at Bora, we have Vlasov and Hindley next to Roglic. How will they play it out?
Considering how they played it out in the Dauphiné, I think Vlasov will get quite an attacking role, potentially satellite rider. Although using satellite rider tactics into Pogacar is difficult. I've only seen Jumbo do it in the past successfully, but I don't expect them to be setting a pace at the front. Why would they do that? So they're gonna have to play in with the attacking moves with those two, and sort of have Roglic sit behind while the domestics for UAE chase Vlasov or Hindley.
If he gets into the shits as well, Roglic a bit, I think those two are going to be key to rescue him as well.
Wait,
For sure.
we've seen the teams from UAE, Visma, Bora, and Quick-Step right now. This is going to be an entertaining Tour de France because everybody has to watch multiple riders in the team. Like Ayuso has to watch Jurgensen, for example, and then you have a Vlasov as well. It's not like they can give freedom to a Hindley and give them 4 or 5 minutes in a break like Kuss did in the Vuelta. So everybody has to watch. Everybody.
I think it's sort of a strategy that they brought from Jumbo's win in 2022 with the multiple leader strategy that was able to break Pogacar. I think that's sort of where we're moving to.
But that's something we loved with 4 or 5 years ago with Movistar, the Trident, Landa, Valverde.
But that's
Quintana.
Movistar.
That wasn't the Trident. No, we've got some football experts in here. Do you think in football you got players marking opponents, player on player? Do you think it's possible we will see the same thing here in cycling? Like, for instance, Ayuso marking Jurgensen and Vlasov, Almeida marking Hindley. Yeah, do you think that's possible?
I mean, it's a possibility, isn't it, really? Because in football, you're obviously saying you're always known to like mark one person. So yeah, I think so.
Yeah, as a DS, you can't say, okay, guys, free for all, fight it out.
No, but I think you can do the move with marking certain domestiques, especially with a multiple leader strategy. Against Vingegaard, you would just say, just follow Pogacar. Just him. Nothing else. But a Jurgensen can potentially go and follow Almeida if they think that they want to risk Almeida winning the Tour. I don't see
Well,
why that couldn't be a thing.
I think Yates is gonna win the Tour then because he's not mentioned in the marking strategy here. So Yates is gonna take it.
All right,
Adam,
guys.
not
He
Simon.
was on the podium last year, so
We'll talk about the other teams in alphabetical order, despite the fact that we still have a couple of GC riders left in other teams. Let's start with, the list I have here isn't in alphabetical order, but we'll start with Decathlon AG2R La Mondiale team, lining up with Felix Gall, Nance Peters, Dorian Godon, Oliver Naassen, Sam Bennett, Nicolas Prodom, Paul Lapera, and Bruno Armirail. Felix Gall, potential top 10 or not?
Yes.
Yes.
top 10, yeah.
Okay, next question. Sam Bennett, potential stage winner.
No.
First.
I don't
Washed.
think so.
I
He's not
mean,
washed. He's won races this year, but
Come on.
now he's going up against Philipsen. Like, no, it's not happening.
He won races in the Catch-Tour de Dunkerque.
He's won
Yeah.
races.
His opposition was Sasha Weemas.
There actually were decent sprinters, but they never got to sprinting. I can't remember which ones they were though.
They were that afraid.
They just got wiped out.
No, I'm not really a believer of Sam Bennett either, to be honest. But we've got two more exciting names in that team, being Dorian Godon and Paul Lapera. Both guys with a decent punch.
Yeah. And the French champion.
Yeah.
Lapera. So
I'm looking
he's
forward
in
to that kit.
Yeah, me too.
that was a good race, that French National Championships. I watched the race. Like Pero, he benefited from the tactics of Decathlon. Absolute amazing tactics as well. Although they did have about 50 riders in the race. But yeah, like Pera in races where like hilly sprints kind of things, maybe even breakaways as well. He could be one very strong in that breakaway. He was in the national champs.
Next team is the one for Yves, Alpecin-Deceuninck, Jasper Philipsen, Mathieu van der Poel, Jonas Rickaert, Axel Laurens, Gianni Vermeers, Robbie Gijs, Sylvain Dillier, and Søren Kragh Andersen. Up to you, Yves.
Well, it's a team all in for Philipsen again. To get the green jersey, to get as much stage wins as possible. Then you have the role from Mathieu van der Poel. First role is being lead out for Philipsen in flat sprint stages, or when Philipsen is still in there and is in the mix for the win. Then he will get some chances in stages, or we create some chances to go for own glory. But it's going to be the same approach as last year. He used the Tour de France as preparation for Glasgow, and now he's going to use Tour de France as preparation for Paris, the Olympics. But he's going to be in a better shape, I think, this year than last year. He's starting the Tour in a better shape.
And another jersey.
And another jersey. So yeah, we will certainly see an attractive style of racing from Alpecin when Philipsen isn't in the mix for the win. They have Søren Kragh Andersen as well. They have Axel Laurens, who is able to survive quite a hilly terrain and who has quite a bit of a punch at the finish. So yeah, it's an entertaining squad, but it's Philipsen as main leader together with Van der Poel.
Bram, how do you rate Philipsen's season so far?
Not super convincing. He's getting beaten by right now he's in his tour form, and he's getting beaten by Merlier quite a few times in the past couple of weeks. He hasn't been really that convincing, but of course that's what the tour is there for. To he doesn't need to be winning that much in Tour of Belgium. The Tour de France is where he needs to be winning. His sprints are just like in the classics as well. Of course, he's won Paris-Roubaix, has had a great classic season, but in the sprinting classics, I wasn't that convinced.
Like
I think
Philipsen was beaten in the Belgian Nationals by Arnaud Delis. Very powerful sprint by Delis. Indeed, multiple times by Merlier. But I was very impressed by Philipsen I mentioned in the previous podcast in the fourth stage of the Baloise Belgian Tour. The stage on Durbuy. That he was still right in the mix there on a tough terrain, a little bit less than 3,000 altitude meters, up and down the whole day. So I think it was quite impressive that he was in there, and it shows that he has some form, that he has climbing legs to be able to survive hilly terrain. So maybe he misses some sprinting speed. His top speed is maybe a bit less than it was last year. Maybe they changed something in his approach and his training. I'm not so sure, but I think he's the main favorite, and for the green jersey, and he will win multiple stages in the Tour.
I just want to come in and correct myself. He didn't win Paris-Roubaix. Of course, he won Milan-San Remo. Just don't want to let that stand. Nobody corrected me.
The fact that Mathieu van der Poel is there right now as a lead out changes everything for me. I think last year Van der Poel was lead out already in Baloise Belgium Tour for Philipsen, where the guy won multiple stages. Right now Philipsen will have a rocket in front of him. He'll get launched. But still, I think the opposition, Merlier isn't there, which is for me the biggest threat to Philipsen in a pure sprint. Olaf Kooi isn't there, so I expect Philipsen to win multiple stages. Ethan, I've got a question for you as well. I saw something today, I couldn't believe my eyes. It won't surprise you, but it was a take by Dieter Loos. He says Søren Kragh Andersen will win the opening stage of Tour de France.
I know he was out partying last night or something like that, but I don't know. Can he benefit? He can climb, yeah, I'll give him that. And does that parkour suit him? If Søren Kragh Andersen was there, then that means Van der Poel would also have a chance, I think, as well, wouldn't he, for the stage? So I don't know.
Well, I gotta give it to the guy. Dieter said in a certain scenario, I can see Søren Kragh Andersen winning, and that's probably in a more closed race, or getting back after that final climb and then do a late attack.
In a certain scenario, I think Gesh could win the Tour de France stage as well, but yeah.
Party pooper. All right.
Sorry, Dieter. Perfect.
The next team is Arkea B&B Hotels with Arnaud Démare, Kevin Vauquelin, Christian Rodriguez, Luca Mozzato, Daniel Meuclé, Raúl Garcia Pierna, Clément Champoussin, and Amaury Capiot. Right, guys, I think we should talk about Arnaud Démare. On the team website, they said they are convinced Démare will win at least one stage. So they didn't say he will be in the mix to win a stage. No, he will win at least one. Despite the fact that Démare didn't win yet this season. Would a stage win be a surprise to you?
Yes, but it's not happening, so...
I don't know what they've been smoking, but that's not happening.
No, it's like
not something legal.
It's like the John Henry tweet when Arsenal bid £40 million for Suarez, and it said, "What the hell are they smoking over there at the Emirates?" Yeah, what the hell are they smoking over there at Arkea? So yeah.
Who has a bigger chance for a stage win, Sam Bennett or Arnaud Démare?
Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett.
Come on, Sam.
I'm not saying he's going to win one either. He's just got a better chance. He's at least won races this year.
Eve, is there any other rider you want to say something about?
No, let's skip the team.
Champoussin.
Oh, that's a
Champoussin.
risk after what happened last year.
Champoussin in the breakaway. I just want to see him win because everyone loves his pain face, don't they? So yeah, if he won a breakaway, I think, and everyone will be happy. His pain face is literally insane. I don't understand it.
The next team is all about Mark Cavendish, Astana Kazakhstan team, where Cav gets the support of Michael Morkov, Davide Ballerini, Kees Bol, Yevgeny Fedorov, Harold Tejada, Michele Gazzoli, and Alexei Lutsenko. Mission 35. Who thinks it's possible?
Me.
Me.
Yes.
I'm a
I
backer
want to
as well.
believe. Doesn't mean it's possible, but I want to believe that it's
It's
possible.
possible, Bram. If we all say it's possible, it's gonna happen. He's gonna
Yeah,
take
we just
that. He's gonna
make it
history.
happen.
We make it happen. I will give him half a leg of my own if needed, but he needs that win. I want him to take that win.
With the Bordeaux thing last year, man, Carlton Kirby, that was incredible. I don't know if you ever was had the English commentary, but he literally nearly exploded on the mic. It was gonna do it all, and then his gear failed. It was, what was it? Gear wouldn't move up, would it, or go back down?
Yeah, it would
It like skip back and forth, I think.
Yeah,
yeah.
that was it.
Imagine Cavendish winning stage 3. What would you do being him? End your career right away?
Yeah, retire.
Yeah.
Well, finish the tour, but yeah, after that,
No. Why? Why you need to suffer on
No,
all
I
those
would.
mountains?
I would quit right away.
go for 36.
Yeah, but he could get
Come
36.
on.
Yeah. He could get 36
If you
he got
beat
that.
Philipsen on stage 3, then you're gonna stay in, and like
Yeah.
if you're in a winning mood at that point, like if that's a scenario that he wins stage 3, he's gonna try and go for 36.
I do
But
agree
don't
with
you
you,
think-
Bram, but there isn't a better moment, in my opinion, when you win.
But Astana's not gonna let him just leave the tour.
No, they will allow him. It's like the promotion the team gets. He's gonna be on every newspaper worldwide that he's got that historic stage win, and he just quit. It's like, why would he go on?
If someone beats it.
His quest is over. He has it. It's done. Just
He
push
goes
the
for
wheel here
36,
in the-
37. I don't know.
Yeah, then he has to keep on riding for 5 years. He has to retire at some point.
Sure. Yeah. But just like
If
if
it-
he beats
if it would-
Phillips in the first sprint,
it
then
would be
like
a
he's gonna
finish
feel
in
like, okay, I can
Paris.
do that again, like next week, and he's gonna try again.
But
There's no way he
probably-
quits after one
he
win.
probably is, but if I would be him, I would quit because there isn't a finish in Paris. So if it will
Yeah.
finish in Paris, it will be something else. But now to suffer in an individual time trial in Nice, who cares?
We need to talk
Look at
about
Ethan's
Alexei
face.
Lutsenko as well, guys.
Ethan's face says it all.
He's not to quit.
Ethan-
He won't quit. He would never quit. But what were you saying, Hannes, about Lutsenko?
Yeah. Stage hunting or GC?
Stage hunting. No chance of Lutsenko have a chance in GC. Let's be honest. No chance. Unless he no, shouldn't say that. Yeah. If he no chance. Look at the competition that's with him. Would he even have a chance? No.
No.
I was not making accusations there, so yeah.
I'm totally convinced now. No chance.
No chance. There's no chance. And it went as well. His form this year. Has anyone seen a good bit of form from Lutsenko?
Well,
No.
no.
I don't think I've even seen him on TV.
Oh, he won Giro d'Abruzzo
Oh,
in
big
April.
race. Big race.
It's the same as Sam Bennett in Dunkirk.
Yves, I know you're a big fan of Harold Tejada. Am I right?
Yes. Stage hunter. He's always a dangerous guy when he's in the right break. He can climb pretty strong. He had to abandon Dauphiné. I don't know why exactly. He didn't start stage 8. But yeah, it's an entertaining rider, and he will be in the mix when the terrain gets tougher.
All right. Moving on to Bahrain victorious with Matej Mohoric, Wout Poels, Peo Bilbao, Phil Bauhaus, Santiago Buitrago, Jack Haig, Fred Wright, and Nikias Arndt. This is a mix of talent, but where will the success be? Buitrago is targeting GC. They got some good stage hunters with Bilbao and Poels. Mohoric is always good at Tour de France. What do you think?
For me, it's an
It's a difficult
unbalanced
team.
team. I don't know what you guys think, but it's not a real leader. Like, all right, Buitrago is GC leader, but I have doubts about him going for general classification. To be honest, I don't recall him perform 3 weeks at a very high level. It's a weird team for me. I think it's more of a stage hunting team.
Mhm.
And then Buitrago gets to do his own thing, following Pogacar, Vingegaard, etc. But I would like to see Buitrago go for stages as well, because he's an entertaining rider in the breaks. But we can't blame him going for general classification, of course, because he showed pretty good legs already this season. But yeah, finishing 11th in the Dauphiné, I don't think it's enough.
I mean, it's
And-
basically the same team as last year, isn't it? But just Londa and Buitrago swapped out. Like all the rest is unless I'm missing something, it's the same team. So last year they won 3 stages. So
Bilbao won one. Mohoric
and pools.
lost the what?
Yeah.
Did he lose the one to Asgreen, or was it?
No,
the
he
other
won
way
one.
around?
It was
the
free,
one-
The
yeah.
interview. Come on.
Oh, right.
They won 3 stages with pretty much the same team last year. So I'm not gonna say they're gonna win 3 stages this year, but this is a good team for stage hunting.
What about the season of Phil Bauhaus? The guy abandoned Giro d'Italia because of bigger targets later on in the season, so that must have been Tour de France. But yeah, I don't know if that's smart planning.
Yeah, but like there's the amount of competition that's in the sprints for this year, right? Well, there is actually, in terms of like ability, a lot of people are on very equal levels, I think, apart from Philipsen. So yeah, the sprints are going to be very, very messy, aren't they? I think as well. And when the sprints get messy, it's always Big Phil always pops in there and always like gets a 3rd place, even a win. So when it gets messy, and even when it gets a bit of a rise at the end, Bauhaus, can he win a stage? I don't want to say it, but a contender.
But look at what happened at Tirreno. He beat Jonathan Milan in a sprint. It was a very messy sprint, but Bauhaus is just one of those that just is able to really profit from that and beat stronger sprinters, because I do rate Jonathan Milan higher than Phil Bauhaus as a pure sprinter.
All right. Moving on to our favorite team, guys. Cofidis, the team of which we said last year they wouldn't win a stage. They ended up winning 2 of them. They're bringing Brian Cocard, Guillaume Martin, Jon Izagirre, Jesus Herrada, Simon Geschke, Alexis Renard, Axel Zengle, and Piet Allegaard. Yves, please tell us the story of Axel Zengle.
I was gonna say I'm not joining the conversation about this team because I don't want to say anything wrong this year. But yeah, Axel Zengle is rumored to go to Visma Lease Bike at the end of the season, or rumored. It's actually pretty clear he's going. The team management mentioned he's not starting the Tour de France because of that transfer, except if he wins French Nationals. Look, he didn't win French Nationals and he's still in the squad. Team management realized probably that he's one of the highest earning members of the team, and they can't let him at home. And he's one of their best shots for a good result in the Tour. So that would be mismanagement to let him at home. But yeah, up to Bram and Ethan to talk further about Cofidis, because I don't dare to say anything more.
I think, yeah, I just screamed that they're going to win a breakaway stage. Genuinely, look at all the riders that you've mentioned there, Anders. I think, the best chance, I'm going to go with Izagirre. The break.
How do you combine the likes of Zengle and Cocard in one team?
Both the two of the same, isn't it? That's the issue, I think, as well.
Isn't that always Cofidis' strategy in like races where they just sprint with?
Cofidis doesn't have strategy.
No, they do. It's just shit.
Someone who has a lot of strategy is obviously Guillaume Martin.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, he's a philosopher, so yeah, he must think about
What are
these
the
things.
expectations about Guillaume Martin? A GC top 6 or a breakaway fireworks?
I mean, he'll go for breakaways, but he's not going to win stages from them. Like he's good at climbing, but come on.
Whoever's a betting person, yeah, get a bet on that now, yeah. Him to win a stage after, especially Bram's Giro d'Italia picks, so yeah. You'll be rich.
Hey, my Giro Italia picks were pretty good, so. But he's not gonna win a stage. I think I do think he's a good climber, but just there's people who are a lot more explosive from him, and he's not gonna ride away from many people.
Right. Let's get serious again with EF Education Easy Post, which is actually a pretty nice team full of stage hunters with Richard Carapaz, Nielsen Paulus, Ben Healy, Marijn van den Berg, Stefan Bissegger, Sean Quinn, Rui Costa, and Alberto Bettiol. I said it to you, Yves, this morning. This is one of the most entertaining teams at this Tour de France, I think. Especially since Richard Carapaz isn't targeting GC but stages.
I love it. It's a crazy team. The best stage hunting team in this year's Tour de France for me, especially when Carapaz is going for stage hunting as well. Combination Carapaz, Paulus, then Healy, Bettiol, Costa, like every single one of them can perform very strong in a break that goes to the line. Marijn van den Berg is there for sprints, probably top 10s in sprints. And then you have Bissegger for the time trial. But overall, it's a very entertaining squad. I don't know what Bram and Ethan think about that, but
It's a real cyclismo squad, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pure vibes. And I've seen a lot of people on X tipping Bettiol for stage 1 as well. That's what I've seen a lot of. And I think the start is it in his hometown, I think.
yeah.
Pretty
If
good,
I'm
yeah.
correct, yeah. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think of his chances in stage 1.
I think they're pretty good. To be fair, it's a team with 3 national champions. It's going to be really interesting because well, they always do some wild kit designs. I'm curious what they do with the Italian flag and this Portuguese flag. But yeah, honestly, this is a super strong stage hunting team. I'm a little bit curious how they're gonna do Van den Berg. I think he's well, him and Bissegger are the least likely to win a stage. But the others, I think they all have a shot.
Ethan, you said Bettiol is a nice pick for stage 1, but I actually rate the chances of Ben Healy a little higher.
Yeah.
Especially since the course is pretty tough.
It's like, I don't know how they're going to decide it on whoever just feels the most fresh on the day, I think, really. That's what it's going to come down to. I think Healy as well, it's who people are going to watch as well, I think, as well. People are going to jump the gun at Healy, I think, as well, if he went. Definitely.
And what about Paulus?
For the
He's going to
opening
be under the
stage?
radar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they all gonna attack? Like they're gonna have to make some choices.
That would be fun. A team time trial. But who can descend the fastest of them all? Because it's a descent to the line, then a flat part, a little flat part. So
It's still 15 kilometers, I think.
If I just had to guess, I would say Bettiol.
Yeah,
Because he's gonna know those roads really well.
yeah, that's true.
And
And
also
who-
just winning the opening stage of the Tour de France in your hometown.
And I think
Would
who
you
else has
say no
the
to that?
kick?
What do you say,
sorry.
Ethan?
I was saying, what is it? But who out of them guys, all those stage hunters for stage 1, it's about who has the best sprint as well, because there's going to be people with them, and Bettiol can definitely
That's true.
outgun people on the line.
Next team on the list is Groupama FDG, another French team. Yves, I see you already like it.
No.
But Groupama is bringing David Gaudu, Kevin Genietz, Romain Grégoire, Stefan Koen, Lenny Martinez, Valentin Madouas, Quentin Paché, and Clément Rousseau. David Gaudu tested positive for COVID, I think. So that's basically GC ambitions gone, if they
Got
weren't
COVID
already
as well.
gone.
They should have been gone at the start of the season.
Already last season, to be fair.
But two interesting names on the sheet here. Romain Grégoire and Lenny Martinez. 3 for you, Yves. Stefan Koen.
Yeah. It's a Grand Tour debut for Grégoire and Martinez. Martinez wasn't expected to ride Tour de France. He was scheduled for Vuelta.
Martinez has ridden the Vuelta before. He's worn the leader jersey.
Ah, yeah.
Grégoire too.
But Martinez was scheduled for the Vuelta as well this year and not for the Tour. They added him last minute. Yeah, two entertaining riders, young French guys with panache. They have explosivity in their legs. They will show themselves in the break in tough stages. Problem is, of course, they are French. There's always a bit of pressure on their shoulders, but still, I think it's important for them to get to know the circus of the Tour de France.
Bram, we already talked about the time trials. Do you think the 2 time trials in this year's Tour de France are too hard for Stefan Koen?
No, but I also don't think he's the favorite. I think the GC guys and specifically Remco is going to be the favorite for those TTs. But Koen's not going to be too far off, like maybe 30 seconds back, but he's not going to win it.
In my opinion, the final time trial is way too hard for him.
Definitely.
The first one will be on the limit, so I think it will be hard for him to get a win.
Yeah, it's always
All
a little
right.
bit with Koen in Grand Tours. I'm just never truly convinced. Like in Classic season, he's excellent, but Grand Tours, he's just never that convincing to me, which is a shame.
Moving on to Ineos Grenadiers with Thomas Pidcock, Geraint Thomas, Carlos Rodriguez, Michael Kwiatkowski, Ben Turner, Jonathan Castro Viejo, Egan Bernal, and Laurens de Plus. For me, besides the big 4, they got the best GC rider in their team, being Carlos Rodriguez.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But when you said best GC rider, I was kind of afraid that you were going to mention other people, but yeah, with Rodriguez, I agree.
So were you more afraid of Egan Bernal or Geraint Thomas? Tom Pidcock.
I was
My
very
GC
afraid you were
Tom
going to say
Pidcock
Tom
take from last
Pidcock.
year. Yeah, but this is an Olympic year, so guys, wait 1 more year for GC Pidcock. I still believe though.
It's not happening. But still.
How many years are we saying that? Wait 1 more year for GC Pidcock. It will happen. It's not going to happen.
We haven't even seen glimpses of it.
It's just like Arsenal fans.
Shut up.
Egan Bernal.
Yeah, it's just lovely to see that he's back at Tour de France after last year. He was there as well, but still, what happened to him a couple of years ago, and he's on his best level ever. In my opinion, just the opposition is stronger than the year he won Tour de France. But still, I have the feeling he's growing. He was fighting with the best in Tour de Suisse as well. He wasn't able to follow the UAE duo, and he lost the last podium spot in the last time trial. But still, his form is good. He's growing. He's gaining confidence. He seems happy. And to be in such team with Carlos Rodriguez, with Thomas, he can stay in the shadow a little bit. I don't know how Ineos will play it out, to be honest. Is there one leader, or is it just see how the legs react on stage 4?
After watching the Geraint's podcast today, I think I would say they're all in for Carlos. I think I've seen that Geraint is saying his role is going to be to support Carlos, and he's obviously not going to drop and just going to grow into the Tour. He said that's what his words were. So I don't know what to do though. It's like we seen last year with Pidcock, where he just went as a lone wolf, didn't he? Is anyone going to do that in the team this year? I don't think so.
I think if there is one guy who's gonna do it is Pidcock again, because
Yeah.
his personality. I think Bernal and Thomas are more loyal, if you can say it that way, to a leader in the squad. So I think the biggest issue will be Pidcock. I don't know how he will approach this tour because it's an Olympic year. As Hannes mentioned, it's gonna pick stages, and he's probably a favorite for the first stage as well. To be fair, so yeah, a question mark behind Pidcock, but Carlos Rodriguez being the leader is the only logical decision for me.
And this is a very solid team.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Like I do have a lot of questions with Domestique Pidcock as well. You were mentioning Geraint Thomas and Egan Bernal, like being able to like give up their own aspirations for Carlos Rodriguez. Like they've come up through Ineos as domestiques, both for Froome. So we've seen them as domestiques in the past. Have you ever really seen Pidcock do good domestique work? I can't recall any significant moments, but I also do want to call out Lorenz Plus in that team. I think he's going to be on really good form as well.
Yeah, he was insanely strong in Dauphiné.
Yeah,
Or was
in
it
the
Swiss?
Dauphiné. In
Yeah,
the Dauphiné
Dauphiné.
it was.
Next team is Intermarche Wanty with Louis Meintjes, Binyam Girmay, Laurens Rex, Hugo Page, Mike Teunissen, Georg Zimmerman, Kobe Goossens, and Gerben Thijssen. Thijssen and Girmay, Ethan, how do you combine those?
I think that's an exciting team, really. I think Tyson is going to be one for a sprint to challenge Philipsen. Anytime I'm playing Pro Cycling Manager, for some reason, I know genuinely, this actually he always wins the sprints, and so yeah, we're not really I can't remember the last time I've seen him up against competition in the sprint. Was it maybe Algarve when I think he was sprinting? But combining him with Girmay, and the pressure of the fans for Girmay, I think, does that also play a role?
Well, I had this little discussion with Yves this morning. He said if Girmay has the same shape as he had at Giro d'Italia, at least the 3 days he was there, he will have a great Tour de France. So, Yves, you're a big Binyam Girmay believer?
Yeah, I'm a believer in Girmay because he was good in the Giro and before his unfortunate crash or crashes. I even see him as an outsider for the green jersey because he's able to survive hillier terrain than an average sprinter, and he's pretty fast at the line. But then we have issues with Thijssen in the squad, of course. Thijssen will get his chances and will want chances in flat stages. You can't deny him that chance. So yeah, but Girmay, entertaining rider, and if he's in the shape he had in Giro, he will be close to a stage win. One question, I recall his Giro stage win, where he rode himself into pink. That was a uphill finish-ish, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
He was able to beat Van der Poel there in the sprint.
That was quite flat, wasn't it?
It was uphill.
It was uphill, I think.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But still, can a Girmay survive the first stage?
Yes. I don't think so.
I don't believe it.
But you're also mentioning him as a green
he...
jersey contender because he can climb well, but we're also saying that Philipsen is transitioning to be a lot stronger in climbing.
Yeah.
And then you have Thijssen, who's going to take away a lot of points from Girmay. He doesn't have a chance at the green jersey.
Yeah, that's the issue with Girmay for the green jersey is Thijssen there. Otherwise, an outside bet would not be bad.
For me, the biggest opponent for Jasper Philipsen for the green jersey is Mes Pedersen. That's the next team, Lidl-Trek, where Pedersen gets the support of Carlos Verona, Giulio Ciccone, Jasper Stuyven, Julien Bernard, Ryan Gibbons, Tim de Klerk and Tom Skujins. No, really, I think if there's anyone who can beat Philipsen for green, it's Mads Pedersen. The guy has massive support within his team. He knows how to play the game in the Grand Tour for 21 days. So I wouldn't be shocked if Pedersen ends up with green.
In Nice or at some point in the race?
Obviously in Nice.
No, not happening.
I think there's that middle bit was what basically denies that chance for Pedersen, I think, of obtaining the green in Nice. I think Philipsen is going to have too much of an advantage.
The way I see it this year, Mads Pedersen has really put another step forward. There have been preparation races in which he was climbing very, very strong. If he can take points in those, and if he can get a nice result in the flat sprint stages, I think it's possible.
Sure, but is it the best thing for Pedersen to really go for the green jersey and go out this tour? Because I'm assuming that Paris is also a massive goal for him, considering the parkour.
If it is, he won't do it.
Yeah, I think he wants to win in Paris.
Which would be a shame, because if he doesn't go for it, yeah, that's basically Philipsen in green for 21 days. Yeah, maybe 19.
Do you not think that people have figured out Philipsen though? That's what I think, maybe. But then the issue is, Van der Poel's there, which is literally like Amazon Prime, literally on a plate. You literally, I don't know, there's not a single lead out really that can compete with Van der Poel. So yeah, Philipsen in green probably from all the way to the end, really.
There is Giulio Ciccone in the team as well, who suffered COVID, but he was 7th at the Italian Nationals. Do you guys think it's possible for him to go back-to-back on the polka dot jersey?
I think it is a possibility.
At least compete.
Yeah, he's probably going to try.
The polka dot jersey, it all depends who's competing. Is it like an Evenepoel who joins the polka dot fight, or another stellar climber who lost time in general classification? But still, he will be competing for that jersey.
Moving on to Movistar with Enric Mas, Oyer Lascano, Nelson Oliveira, Davide Formolo, Alex Aramburu, Fernando Gaviria, Javier Romo, and Gregor Mühlberger. Enric Mas as their GC man. A possibility for top 5, or will you have to be satisfied with top 10?
Top 10.
Top 10.
Top 5 is stretching it.
Like 7
I wasn't
or 8.
really convinced by him at Tour de Suisse, to be honest. So I think it will be difficult to get a really high result.
Yeah, same.
Within that team, there's also Alex Aramburu, who has some great legs at the moment.
Yeah, Spanish champion.
Is he finally able to win stages and not screw it up? Maybe the Spanish jersey, national jersey, will change that, and I hope it actually, because the guy has pretty strong legs. He can do a little bit of everything. He can sprint pretty fast. He can climb pretty good. So yeah, he's an entertaining rider. But the most interesting rider for me is Gaviria. I think he's paid by every team to be a lead out because he launches his sprint always with 500 to go. So we're talking about Van der Poel being a master lead out, but no one beats Gaviria as lead out.
Lascano's climbing ability as well was something to watch in the Dauphiné. Him for the climbing breakaways. Although Dieter was telling me that the watts wasn't that really high level, so I don't know what's going to be the thing for him, Lascano, in this tour. It's going to be interesting.
Do you see him as a GC contender then, or?
I mean, after speaking with that crackhead, I don't know. So yeah. Next team on the list is Team DSM Firmenich PostNL with Romain Bardet, Warren Barguil, John Degenkolb, Niels Eekhoff, Fabio Jacobsen, Oscar Only, Frank van den Broek, and Bram Welten. First of all, Romain Bardet, his last Tour de France. Does anyone know what his goals are? GC or stage hunting?
I hope stage hunting.
Well, I was going to say, if he's going stage hunting, this is one guy that could win polka dots.
He wants to win the stage on 14 Juillet. He has to.
I think he's going
Did
to
he
start
say
off
that?
with GC and then go stage hunting after.
No, it would be no. He didn't say that, but it would be lovely his last Tour de France as a Frenchman to win on the national, on their national day. So
What stage is that?
it's a mountain stage.
One of the
for-
toughest.
Yeah, finish on Plateau de Bay.
Yeah, okay. Every
Plateau de
French
Bay.
person's going to
We'll
win
get
that.
to that, Ethan.
Yeah, there to that. And Only Oscar Only as well. I'm excited to see what Oscar Only can do in this tour. There's climbing ability. We've seen it. Well, we've seen it on the Tour Down Under, didn't we? I've seen him there. Also, he's had a bit of injuries as well. So yeah, a very, very unlucky guy.
I sincerely hope he doesn't break his collarbone again. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it would
how
be
many-
the third
how many
time or
times?
fourth time this season, I think, that he breaks his collarbone. I think he
Yeah,
already
he's-
has
This season.
2 times or 3 times, I think.
He's definitely
Yeah.
broken it 2 times this season. I'm not sure about a third.
Yeah, it's his third or fourth time if it happens again. So I sincerely hope he stays on his bike because he has solid climbing legs.
What about Fabio Jacobsen?
He lost some weight. I saw an article. He said he was a little bit overweight going into the Giro, that he built up too much muscle mass to be able to survive the mountains. We witnessed that in the Giro. I think we all witnessed that. So yeah, I'm gonna ask the question again: who's gonna win a stage? Who has more chance to win a stage, Sam Bennett or Fabio Jacobsen?
And
Sam Bennett.
Jacobsen.
Jacobsen. It's got
I
to
was-
be.
I was gonna say Jacobsen. I know the
Too bad.
I know the maar of Jacobsen, Hannes.
Yeah, Jacobsen. But still, if you mention he lost weight, at Belgium Tour, his best result was 14th place.
That's pretty close. Yeah, no.
Preparation.
Preparation.
Building up. All right. Team Jayco Alula also has a decent sprinter with Dylan Groenewegen. And besides him, they also have Luka Mesgic, Simon Yates, Elmar Reinders, Luke Durbridge, Chris Harper, Christopher Juul Jensen, and Michael Matthews. Groenewegen won the Nationals. Is he the biggest opponent for Jasper Philipsen in the flat sprints?
Pretty impressive sprint from Groenewegen.
I actually think
was unexpected for me. Like Goy wasn't able to close that gap at all. There was a gap there because there was a good lead out from I don't know anymore, but still very impressive sprint from Groenewegen in the Dutch Nationals.
I personally believe that he actually is going to be the competitor to Philipsen. The team that he has with him as well is very good, and also I don't know what's going to happen there. Groenewegen, Sam Bennett, Jasper Philipsen, all going into one sprint is going to be flipping chaos in my opinion. But yeah, and genuinely, if they had the yellow, if this is the yellow card thing in this,
No, not yet.
No,
if that was in, I think they would all be sent off within the first stage. Genuinely, I don't understand. Well,
They
and then
can't
also,
all be sent off in the first.
they
sprint
would.
stage.
They do some. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't. I fear it genuinely because those 4 are all the most notorious, and you have Girmay as well. Girmay is also thingy. I don't know what you're laughing at. It's genuinely. I'm being concerned.
And then you have Vanderpool lead out as well.
It's gonna be crazy the sprint as well. But Groenewegen's to win that Dutch national championship in that way, his celebration on. I won't talk about that. But yeah, good. Nice to see.
But what about Matthews in that team? To be honest,
My favorite guy, man, Matthews from the 2022 Tour de France. I think this stage 1, is the exact elevation of around about the same elevation of that. I think it was stage 14 he won. Yeah, if Bettiol is a favourite for that stage, do you think Matthews is also on that path?
For the first stage?
to be fair.
For the first stage, if Bettiol can do it, Matthews can do it.
No way.
Matthews is not getting away from the peloton. Bettiol can.
Yeah,
If
but if-
Matthews can stick to the back of a group and it comes together as a reduced
In a
bunch
reduced
with-
form, I think so, yeah.
yeah, with 25
He's not going to be
riders.
able to make the winning move.
No, that's
if
true.
He could, if like an unleashed Bettiol, I don't think Matthews follows.
We've seen that on that stage though in 2022. So
What are the expectations about Simon Yates?
Top 5 for me.
Top 5? Ooh,
Wow.
that's a surprise.
That's a really surprise. Certainly after his
His season has been pretty
Yeah.
average.
Yeah, but like I'm just looking at what he was able to do last year. He's a top 5 contender for me. I don't really have much explanation for it. It's vibes, I guess.
with his rumor as
I
well.
have the feeling he'll lose a big amount of time in one of those mountain stages and then make the switch we talked about earlier.
He doesn't really have support with him, I think, as well, compared to for top 5, I think, as well.
No, but still, I don't think a guy like Simon Yates needs a lot of support. If you're Pogacar or Vingegaard, Evenepoel, Roglic, those guys, they need a decent train. But yeah, Simon Yates.
It's why
In
he's
all
going to get
honesty.
picked up. It's why he's going to get picked up by Visma Lease bike next year, isn't it? The rumor. So yeah.
To join the train and be a replacement leader. Yeah, why not? All right. Israel Premier Tech is a pretty interesting team as well with Guillaume Boivin, Jake Stewart, Jakob Fuglsang, Stefan Williams, Pascal Akkerman, Derek G, Hugo Hoel, and Chris Nijlands. Derek G, the surprise of Dauphiné, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. The way he was climbing there, although Dieter mentions the power files weren't that impressive, but still he was right in the mix there. Very unexpected from my side that he was able to climb that good. He just confirms his Giro last year. He does it this year that he's a talent, and this year's tour is gonna be. Yeah, I hope we'll see a Giro 2.0, but instead of the second places, a couple of stage wins.
Well, maybe we should say goodbye to Bram, who was leaving the episode because of some Zwift racing, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I have to race.
Well,
Already done
Bram,
quite a bit
I
of
hope
climbing today.
Remco Evenepoel makes it to the end of the Tour de France instead of you leaving this episode earlier.
Wow.
It's
okay.
foreshadowing, isn't it? I think foreshadowing.
Well, there's still some
No, have
interesting
fun.
teams
Have fun on
coming
the
up.
bike.
Have
Thanks.
fun.
Have fun on the podcast. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
What about Pascal Akkerman? Another sprinter? Another second row sprinter?
Washed a
Is he
little bit.
still a sprinter?
I don't know if you can say it as well. Fuglsang as well. I said it on the podcast last week to use with the Casemiro Saudi Arabia meme. Lead the cycling before the cycling gets you, and I think with the same with Chris Froome, I think Fuglsang. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand why Fuglsang is in the squad, to be
I
honest.
don't know what, but yeah. Hugo Hoel as well. I'm excited to see Hugo Hoel. He was a breakaway victor again just in 2022. Very happy to see that. A nice story as well with him. Does he go in the breaks with G? Yeah.
Probably.
He will go into the breakaways, but I don't think he will be successful. If there's anyone winning a stage, it will be Derek G. And I think I would actually be surprised if he doesn't end up winning a stage.
I'd
He's
be
that
surprised
good.
as well. Yeah. at that level in the Dauphiné and the power that he's producing. Poof.
But I think Stephen Williams has a chance for a stage win as well. The guy is very strong. So Williams together with G are the leaders in that squad. Yeah, Stephen Williams for stage one. What about that?
Possible. He has a definite punch.
He has that punch and he's not slow to the line. So
Nope.
yeah.
Although I think it's better for him to have a small punchy uphill finish
Yeah.
instead of the flat one we got here at the opening stage.
Yeah.
Moving on to the last Belgian team, Lotto Destiny, with Arnaud Delis, Victor Kampenaerts, Maxime van Gils, Brent van Moer, Jared Drisners, Harm van Hoeken, Sebastien Grignard, and Cedric Beulens. Arnaud Delis, Yves, we saw him live at work on Sunday at the Belgian Nationals. It was damn impressive.
Yeah.
I know you're not the biggest fan of the team, but what do you expect from him? The team says he's there for experience, but yeah.
Well, our listeners know I'm not the biggest fan of the team, but still I think the first yellow jersey comes from that team, being Maxime van Gils. He's my main favorite for the first stage. But
He was sick.
I know, yeah, I know, but
You don't believe it.
No. But still, I know Delis. It was quite emotional to see his post-race interview, to be fair. It showed that he had a very tough season so far, with the injuries, crashes, the pressure that is on his shoulder. He's still only 22 years old, if I recall correctly. And I think that Belgian national jersey will free him a little bit. He was able to beat a Philipsen, a Melier, a Van Aert in a sprint. I think that gives you a lot of confidence going into the Tour. And I think that releases a little bit of the pressure that was were on his shoulders.
It can go both ways. On one hand, he has beaten those guys. It gives him confidence. On the other hand, he beats Philipsen. Maybe there might be some more pressure now again on him to perform in that jersey.
There is probably more pressure from media and from outside, but I think it's that win will give him a certain sort of peace that he's able to do it, and the dark page in the season's book is turned. So now it's going to the Tour first year. He does the Tour. So stage 8, for example, that's something that's made for him. Actually, the stage that's made for him.
The team wants him to compete in the bunch sprints on the flat as well. They say he could end up between places 5 and 10. Don't you think he can do better once, twice?
Maybe after that sprint in the national championships, I know it was a very fatigued bunch, but if it's that situation kind of thing, you can put the power on display there. His Strava obviously was hidden or whatever it was. But yeah.
By the way, Lotto is looking into the chain problems he has because of his incredible power output in such a sprint. So yeah, let's hope he doesn't have those again in Tour de France. Victor Kampenaerts. I know, Yves, you don't want to talk about him, but last year he was a very entertaining rider. But how do you see the role of Kampenaerts in the Tour de France? How can he end up with a stage win?
Do I have to answer that question?
He won't.
Well, just like he did the Belgian Nationals, going into break and then stay at the front as long as possible till the finish. And don't be stupid and pull another rider with you to the line, but be smart in the final 2K, because he's not slow at the finish. Ethan, up to you to talk further about Kampenaerts.
I don't really have anything to say about him really as well. It's just breakaway and hope, isn't it? Really. But yeah, another rider I want to talk about though for one specific stage in Lotto, yeah, Cedric Bullens, the gravel stage. Um, he
Because of
was,
that Spanish race at the start of the
yeah, I
season.
know it's still, and he has been, I think, for what other race was it? But he keeps getting very unlucky in situations with like punctures and stuff. But yeah, he has been very strong in those type of things.
I don't really understand the hype within the domestic crew about Bullens, to be fair.
He just gets unlucky every time. That's the thing. If he didn't get unlucky,
Yeah.
All right, the penultimate team will be TotalEnergies with Mathieu Burgodeau, Stef Kras, Anthony Turgis, Jordan Gega, Thomas Gachignard, damn, this is hard, Matteo Vercher, Sandy Dujardin, et Fabien Grelier. Of all Pro Tour teams, this is the most Pro Tour team, in my opinion. This is sad to see, to be honest, at the biggest race in the world.
Well, I have to be honest, two or three of them, I don't really know. I recognize their names, but that's it. Jordan Gega, Matteo
that's.
Vercher.
I think that guy you just mentioned, that I'm not going to attempt to say his name, but he was in the breakaway, the French national champs. So yeah, I think he was maybe in the front three with like Pira, but yeah,
Well, yeah, there you say it. This is a team to get into the breakaways.
yeah.
And the other half will probably support Stef Kras. Let's hope after his horrendous injuries, he will do a great Tour de France. But besides Kras and maybe Bourgodeau, there's nothing really in this team, in my opinion.
Ethan, it was Thomas Gachignard in the front group with La Pera. The Gega was only 30th. So
Is that guy you mentioned there? What is he in the team?
yeah, Gachignard, it's the
Yeah. I've not really heard of him since, but yeah.
All right, the last team, Ethan. There it is.
Yeah, my
X
team, man, come on.
Mobility.
I'm very
The
excited.
8 riders are Magnus Kort, Johannes Koolset, Rasmus Tiller, Odd Christian Eiking, Alexander Kristoff, Søren Wereskiöld, Tobias Halland Johannessen, and Jonas Abrahamsen. Bring it on, Ethan.
So we got Tobias for the mountains being supported by Johannes, right? We have Tiller in the free roll kind of thing, aiming for the gravel stage specifically. Magnus Court just being his Magnus Court, the King Court he is. Odd Christian Eiking, he's very underrated, by the way. He's after talking with Johannes, it's very impressive within the team, his ability. And then Christoph and Warrenschild, we got Christoph with the sprints, Warrenschild with the lead out. And that obviously can change if things are not working.
Well,
didn't you forget Abrahamsen?
Abramson, yes, how can I forget Abrahamson? I'm an idiot. Breakaway to Abramson, he 100% wins the breakaway stage, I think.
100%.
I'm serious.
Put your money on it.
100%, yeah. Because people as well don't realize his climbing ability. Generally, his climbing ability is still the same as when he was skinny. And then we've seen it last year in the Tour de France, obviously, stage 18. He has literally the dog in him, really. I'd say just go boof, boof, boof.
I thought that was confidence.
Christoph as well as I don't know what you guys think about Christoph's chances with a sprint victory.
Well, I was going to ask you, wouldn't it be smarter to let Christoph do the lead out for Wereskiöld?
No, because I think Christoph's form recently shows that Christoph is thereabouts, I think.
Yeah, for what, place 7, 8?
No, I think he can genuinely win.
Win?
I think
Against
Christoph
Philipsen, do you think that?
Well, yeah, just I mean, I don't really believe it, but like you have to believe in it as a fan of the team. You have to really believe. To beat Philipsen is going to need something quite extraordinary or something just completely just to go kaboom, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. Warrenschild, maybe a few years down the line, does Warrenschild have the ability to do that? I think maybe, he's an absolute demon.
So, if we should believe
a team
you,
full of demons.
the team will win 3 stages?
I think this team wins one stage, really, and I want to talk about one stage in particular. The gravel, in fact, two. The gravel stage and the Plateau de Bay. The Plateau de Bay is one that Johannes has told me he really likes, but obviously it's going to be a near
So
impossible
you're talking
task.
about Johannes Koolset, right?
Johannes, yes, Johannes Koolset. Does stage 14, does he have a chance? The GC men will probably want to go for it as well, won't they, as well? But yeah, a guy to watch in the breakaway, Johannes Koolset, stage 14. And stage 8, Tiller, I think. That's a great
Stage
chance.
9 is the gravel stage, I think.
It's the same thing, stage 9. I get
But then you
confused.
still have Abrahams who takes
the-
his 100% break victory. So damn, it's gonna be.
I think maybe actually
France.
minimum. I'm not applying pressure, but yeah, I think they get stage win.
Yeah.
And
How can we take
doing
you seriously? There's elephants on your wall.
25, as we said earlier, 2025 won the merchandise, get it there. But yeah, I don't know what over the viewers think as well. I know a lot of Norwegian fans. I talked to many of them on Twitter, and yeah, they all believe in Christoph. So yeah.
All right, Ethan, maybe we should end this episode with telling about the content plan we have with Johannes Koolset during Tour de France.
Yeah, the Tour de Koolset is going to be every day on every stage, 1 minute video of Johannes going through what happened on the stage, what happened with the team and stuff like that. Just giving all of us the insights into what life is like in professional peloton of the Tour de France.
And where can people see that?
On our social media channels on X.
Wow, perfect.
And I don't know what the plan is with other social media channels, but yeah, the number one is on X.
All right, guys, we're there. We're ready for Tour de France.
Yep.
I'm ready. I'm
Pogacar.
also sweating. Oof.
Yeah, me too.
So one more time. Yellow jersey,
Pogacar,
Pogacar.
Pogacar. Green jersey,
Phillips,
Philipsen.
Philipsen. Polka dots,
Remco,
Carapaz.
Evenepoel.
Romain Bardet. All right.
Wow.
Anything
The
you guys
That's
would
it?
like to add?
The youth jersey.
Yeah, white jersey.
The white jersey. Yeah.
I
You
mean,
got
it's-
it. You
I
got
think you gotta
anything to
say
say?
Remco? Really?
Yeah, Remco probably.
I think.
Yeah, if you say he's going for polka dots.
You can finish 12th in GC and polka dots, win the polka dots as well.
Team classification as well. You can't miss that.
UAE.
by 5 hours or something like that, probably. Well, he should.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining today. And thanks to our audience as well for tuning in. If you like this episode, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And yeah, I'll see you back in the Tour de France, probably on the first rest day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I've got the spores, the sickness. Let's be twins.